Hi folks, I'm Ian Baker, the product specialist with Camping World, and today we're going to go over the 2018 Thor Ace 27.2. This is the smallest of the Ace line, and folks, if you're looking for a well-built, easy to maneuver Class A, this is one you definitely want to pay attention to. Let's start right over here. So what you'll see is this jackknife sofa. It's a great setup because it's directly across from the dinette. You can get great conversation going here. And you'll see there's two additional seat belts. That way you can have riders right here directly behind your driver and main passenger seats. So again, great conversation even while you're traveling down the road. Because this is a jackknife sofa, it also drops down into a bed for additional sleeping space. And while you're traveling, you have some cup holders right back here. And I know it seems minor, but folks, it's actually really convenient, especially if you stop at like a McDonald's or a Starbucks, you know, where you have a cup that spills really easily. Having those cup holders can be quite nice. Above that, you have a big door side window. I love when manufacturers do this. This is the site you want. You want to look out at your campsite. So having a big window here not only lets in a lot of natural light, but also gives you a great view. Underneath the top cabinets, you have a couple LED lights here, two speakers, and you also have an electrical outlet. So if you need to plug in a cell phone, laptop, tablet, you can plug it in right there. Directly above, take a look at that, folks. Big storage in here, strut supported, so it's easy one-hand operation. And right up here in the corner is a Blu-ray player. That is connected to the TV across the way there, so if you do need to watch a movie, you can pop it in right there, hook it up, and you are good to go. As we make our way up a little bit further, let's take a look at the cockpit itself. So across the top, you'll see you have great storage on the sides. They built in these little nets right here, so it's really simple to put stuff in there, access it very easy. Same thing right up front here. If you have papers like some envelopes or something or whatever it may be, you can stick it right in there. Maybe some maps in case your GPS fails or whatever. But I do like the fact they have that up there. Mirror here too, just kind of helps, give some reflection and open the space up a little bit. The other thing I like, folks, this right up top is a bed. And this is really cool. Let me go ahead and show you the control for it. It's actually on the other side of the cabinets. Right over here, there's a key, a switch right here, and folks, touch of a button, and this thing comes right down. It is pretty cool the way it works. If we take a look, you'll see it actually actuate down just like so. As soon as it hits the sides here, it flattens right out. But this is awesome for additional sleeping space. If you have guests and they want to stay the night, this is quick and easy to drop down and make up. 250-pound weight capacity on there. It comes with a ladder. I currently have that down below, but it's easy to get up in there, and you will see again additional storage across the front there. So if anyone is staying up there, they have places they can store, dirty clothes or their phones, things like that. Or even you yourself. You want to put a blanket up there, you can put a couple blankets, that way your guests can easily access them. So that is pretty neat. As we take a look at the cockpit up front, you'll see both your driver and passenger seats can swivel around. That way you can utilize all this space up front here. You also have a table right there in the center. That way both chairs can turn. You can, play cards, eat a meal here. That table is tucked away in a back wardrobe with the leg, and I'll show you that a little bit later. Right in front of that, you have your shroud here. Folks, I really like what Thor has done. Rather than your standard carpeted shroud that gets really dirty, because, you go to sit in the passenger seat or the driver's seat, you're constantly rubbing your feet up against this, kicking it, getting a bunch of dirt on there, and that carpet's tough to clean. So what they've done instead is they went to fiberglass because it is very easy to clean up. And also underneath that fiberglass is a neoprene layer all underneath that shroud to help reduce a lot of the engine noise up front. You'll see some cup holders there as well, so that way you can have your coffee, your water, whatever else you want to drive with there, which is great. And then you also have the mat right here in the center, which is a perfect place to put like your cell phone. And the reason I say a cell phone in particular is because if you notice this right here, not only do you have a USB port there, but you also have an HDMI port. So what you can do with that is you can take an HDMI cable, plug it in right there, have the other end with a connector that attaches into your phone, and this actually has screen mirroring capability. So whatever you have on your cell phone will actually mirror right on here, and folks, that is awesome. Myself in particular, I constantly use Google Maps for a couple different reasons. one, it's a free service to me, and that's always a big thing in my book. And two, it constantly updates. Because my phone always has internet access, it will reroute me if there's an accident or give me a quicker route if there's construction. So I just really like using it, and the fact that it mirrors right there makes it very convenient for me. You'll also notice you have a couple 12-volt plugs there, as well as your standard thermostat. Nice wood grain around the dash here. And then this radio too also, if you put it in reverse, your backup camera will come on. If you put on a blinker, you have side view cameras as well. You will see all that right there in this center dash. Over here to the side, if you take a look at the armrest, you have some controls here as well. It does have power mirrors. You also have heated mirrors. You can see an additional cup holder there. And auto level. This coach has auto level, folks, so touch of a button and it will do the rest for you. If we take a look over here on the passenger side, this is a neat little feature here too. So especially if you're planning on, doing the full timing or spending a lot of time in your RV, you plan on doing a lot of traveling, maybe you're one of the lucky ones that can work from the road, this is a sweet feature. This just folds up and over just like so, and now you have a nice little workstation. Whether you just want to eat a meal here, or if you have a laptop, you can sit here and work. You have an electrical outlet right there so you can plug it in, and you also have a 12-volt over here to the side. But I think this is a great feature, again, for anyone who plans on spending a lot of time in their new RV. Across the way is our slide. You'll see you have a nice big slide on this side. We actually have two. You have one more in the bedroom I'll show you in a little bit. But our main living room slide here really opens this space up. You'll notice your dinette right here, and I like what they've done. They wrapped the cushion right around back, and the reason I like that is if you are sitting here having conversation, yes, you can certainly fit, two people to each side, but also if you just want to sit back and relax, you can do that. You can sit like this. It's nice and comfortable. You can have conversation with people right over on the couch. And when you're riding, right over here, because you will see there's two additional seatbelts there, so you can have two riders while going down the road. You have some cup holders here as well, so you have places to put an extra beverage. If you need additional sleeping space, and remember, we have the bunk over top, we have the jackknife sofa. This is a dream dinette. This also drops down into a bed. There's a little lever right here. You just pull the lever. This will push right down. There's actually an extra cushion that goes on top of this. I have that hidden back in the wardrobe as well, but that just sits right on top, and that will create that additional sleeping space. If you need an electrical outlet, there is one right underneath, so you have a place to plug that in, your electronics there. And right underneath, you have easy access underneath the bench seat there. So some larger items you want to stick in there, you can get to them without hassle. On both sides, you have some windows here. You'll see that to help let in natural light. And right in the center is your TV. And folks, I really like this setup because if you're sitting here at the dinette, on the outside, you can still get a view to the TV, but more importantly, it's a straight shot right across to the sofa. So if it's just two of you and you want to sit back and relax, you can sit here, have a straight shot to the TV. You don't have to crane your neck or anything. And so I think this was a great placement in this floor plan. Moving back a little bit further, we get into the kitchen. There's actually good prep space in here. You'll see all the space right back here. Now, granted, you can't really prep food here, but what you can do is it's kind of a spot for your extra appliances. For myself, I can't survive a morning without coffee, so I have my coffee maker right back here. You have an electrical outlet here. You can plug that right into, so that's nice and easy. A couple LED lights help brighten it up as well. But I say you have good prep space because you have this space right over here. What they've done is they give you a recessed cooktop with a glass cover, so that way you can utilize this. So they take what would be a small countertop and give you that extra space right there. When we fold this up and back, you'll see that reveals your 3-burner cooktop there. The glass also kind of doubles as a backsplash, which is nice. And you'll actually see you have a decorative backsplash right behind there, kind of a nice tile look. Helps accentuate the kitchen, helps make it pop a little more. Right underneath here, you have an oven, so if you have to get in there, or if you want to do some baking, rather, that is where you do it. Right underneath is an access panel, so you can pop that off and get at some items underneath. Right over here, take a look at that, folks. Perfect spot for a trash can. In fact, they even give you one there, so that way, you don't have to worry about finding a spot. You don't have to have trash hanging out. You know exactly where it goes. Right up top, you have a little drawer right here, a little space for, soap or sponge, something like that. And then 3 full extension ball bearing drawers right underneath. Plenty of room for your silverware, your bigger utensils, hot pads, whatever else you want to put in there. You have the space for it. As far as the sink, large single bowl stainless steel sink. But folks, look how deep this bowl is. This is something where a lot of manufacturers will oftentimes cheapen up a little. You know, your sink will be about half this depth, and it's just not very usable. But that is not the case at all here. If you have big residential pots and pans, you can actually fit them in this sink. You can wash them out. You have the high-rise pull-out faucet, so it makes it super easy as well. If we take a look back on the wall again, you'll see your roller shade there, so that's nice. Just, you know, pull it down, helps block out the window there. You have a hood right over to the side with a light and fan. Of course, your microwave up top, and then some additional storage right over here with an adjustable shelf. So that way you can kind of customize it to what you want to store in there. If we take a look across the way, we have the Norcold fridge freezer right here. So this kind of, you know, rounds out the kitchen. You have your freezer compartment up top, fridge down below, plenty of space. You have the little drawer here as well. Now, the cool thing about this, folks, is this is an RV refrigerator, so it does run off both propane and electric. So, you know, if you are out somewhere and you don't want to run the generator, I know, you know, some states you can't run a generator during certain hours, so you can still run this off propane, which is cool. You know, that way you can keep your food cold even without shore power. Right up top, you have storage there as well. You can see it is strut supported, so that way it's simple one-hand operation. I'll show you that there's a pantry on the side. I'll show you in just a second. But before we do, I want to cover this right here in the entryway because there's some cool stuff here as well. You'll see some storage right up top here, the little net. Control panel right next to that. Of course, your generator's on there as well as your tank monitoring panel slide there, and your water pump and your heater. Now notice it does, of course, run off both LP and electric. Right underneath, however, you will see you have a double coat rack. So I think that's a pretty cool option too, you know, especially if you plan on camping when it's a little bit colder. You'd like to, you know, camp in the fall or maybe early in the spring. Come in, hang up your sweatshirt, your jacket, whatever. Just makes it easy to get at. And then your thermostat right over here to the side. But as I had promised, you do have a pantry in here. I'll open that up for you. You can see you have a couple big shelves right up top there, so plenty of room for, you know, you can actually fit a bag of chips up there, which is nice, or, you know, some of your boxes of cereal will fit in there too, which is cool. And then you have two full extension drawers there, kind of a finished front on there as well. So, you know, nice extra drawers. And that way, if you have a spot, maybe you fill one of these with spices or something, you'll be able to pull that out. It's pretty cool. But I do like the fact they put that in there. Then you step back into the bedroom. You'll see you have a pocket door, so you can close that off to have privacy there, which is neat. Now, if you don't want the door, you'll also notice you have a curtain here too, so you can close the curtain off. The reason for that, folks, is if you have guests staying with you, right? If it's just the two of you, close the door. Great, you know, it makes you feel nice and secure. If you want to close the door even with guests, you can do that too. But the purpose of the curtain is, if you notice, it goes right through here, and it still allows for other guests to get into the bathroom here. So you do have a couple options there, which is pretty neat. Right over here is your wardrobe, right here in the back. So you'll see your hanging rod going across the top. As I had promised, I stuffed some things in here. So this is the cushion that goes on top of the Dream dinette. And then right behind that, you'll see your table right here. That's the table that goes up front. And then right over here is the leg for it. There is a little lip right there, so your table will stick behind that. But as I mentioned, take both of those up front, and you have a nice extra table. Underneath, two large drawers, so perfect for some folded clothes there. And this right here is actually access. So take a look at this. Your water pump is very accessible, and that's a big deal, folks. You know, a water pump a lot of times is one of the things that'll go out or that needs worked on or replaced. Super simple to find here. Also, you can see your sensors for your fresh water tank are right there too. So if you ever have to get at those, it is easy access here in the Ace. Right back here is the bathroom. You'll see right here on the door, this is pretty neat. You have your towel rack. You know, you need a place to hang your towels, boom, there you go. It's already installed on the back of the door. You don't have to worry about it. Stepping in a little bit further, porcelain toilet here in the Ace, folks. Easy to clean. You'll see I have plenty of leg room, good room up top, and if you notice, it sits up higher too. So, you know, if you have bad knees or maybe you're a little bit older, it takes a little bit more to get off the toilet sometimes, especially if it sits low. Having it high like this makes it pretty simple. Right over to the side here is, of course, the sink top. Stainless steel bowl in there, which I like. Toilet paper holder is already installed for you right over here to the side. Underneath here, you have some additional storage there too. Of course, you have a mirror right here. That way you can see yourself, make sure you're looking nice. Hand towel ring. Right up top, some good additional storage there. So, you know, I myself, I'd probably put some towels up here. You know, that way you kind of have like a mini linen closet, if you will. Or maybe you want to put your toilet paper up there instead of underneath. You can certainly do that as well. If we take a look up at the ceiling, vent fan to quickly help moisture escape, LED lights, and your AC vent. This one does have a heat vent as well, so that way if it's cold in here, make sure you're nice and toasty. Right over to the side here is the shower. I'll show you this. I'll take a step in. I'm 6 foot, just to give you an idea of height. You can see I have plenty of room here even without the skylight. But, you know, if you're a tall person, you know, even if you're 6'4", 6'5", you can still stand in here very easily. You have the hand wand to help you shower. Some shelves there as well for your shampoo, your soaps. Built-in shower door there too. Another neat feature is this right here. You know, it's not just the small things. You have a little dog dish there, you know, cat dish, whatever it may be. But, you know, if you bring a pet with you, you can go ahead and fill the food and water right there. I think that's kind of cool. You know, if you don't have pets, no big deal. You didn't lose much, but it's a cool extra feature. So we take a step into the bedroom. So this is a slide out bed right here. The nice thing about the slide out is it gives you room to be able to sneak by. You know, I have a big butt, so even I can kind of sneak through here, but you know, that's the nice thing about that, about having that slide out. Queen size bed. Now it is a foldable mattress. You know, when you start getting into RVs with the rear bathroom like this, you kind of have to flip the mattress up to be able to slide it in, so you want to make sure you do that. But it is quite comfortable, folks. You can see that. I mean, it actually has nice padding in there. You know, you will have a comfortable night's sleep, which is great. Shelves along the sides as well as windows there. You have storage all the way across the top, and again, strut supported, so one-hand operation. Those are pretty deep in there too. And then you'll notice you have double LED lights as well as 2 speakers here underneath in case you want to listen to some music. Large rear picture window. I love this. Not only does this let in some natural light, but if you do have a beautiful view out the back, you know, you can wake up and enjoy that view right here, which is pretty cool. TV already installed for you in the bedroom. You don't have to worry about getting one. It's already there. That way you can watch a show before night. Multimedia center right here. That one is Bluetooth capable. Last thing I do want to mention, you'll see you have a max air fan here in the bedroom. There is another one in the main living area. So if you don't want to run the ducted AC, you want to open up some windows and turn on those max air fans, they will certainly get the air moving through here. Now that we've seen the insides, take a quick look at some of the outside features on the Ace 27.2. So let's talk about the chassis. This one is built on the Ford F53 chassis. It has the 6.8 liter Triton V10, putting out 320 horsepower, 460 foot-pounds of torque. Now folks, I would never go as far as to call a Class A sporty, but this thing is probably about as close as you're gonna get. You know, this is the same engine, the same chassis that they have on Class A's that are an extra 10 foot longer than this one. So this one definitely has some get up and go. It has all the power you'll need, especially on a gas coach. So the Ace here, the 27.2, really is fun to drive. You'll see the nice big one-piece windshield right up front here. You also have the wet wipers, so that way as it's going across, it's spraying the entire windshield, making sure everything is staying nice and clean for you. Then you have the kind of the front cap right up top there. You know, you have the header that's built in. It gives it a really unique look. Again, you know, kind of almost sporty for a Class A, which is pretty cool. Coming around to the side, you have your bi-directional mirrors, which help cover some of your blind spots, especially in conjunction with your side view cameras right there. And as I had mentioned inside, turn on the blinker and it will turn on right on that center dash for you. That way, as you are switching lanes, you'll ensure that you're not going to hit anyone. Right here, you have some outside speakers, so if you want to listen to music outside, that is the place to do it. And if you want to watch TV outside, that's not an issue either. It is already built in right there for you, strut supported, pops right up. And I like this too, because this kind of helps create a little bit of shade. You know, even if you're not putting the awning all the way out, this helps protect a little bit. That way you get a better view to the TV. We take a look right down below. We'll open this up. You have 2 batteries. It comes standard that way, which is great. Right next to that is your hydraulic pump. Now, one of the things Thor is really good about, folks, is they make sure that, you know, they do the best they can to make it so you're not stranded. So you'll see that the cables right here are color coordinated. So if you do have to troubleshoot it, you know exactly what lines you're talking about. And this right here, this little cap, you can pop this cap off, put a hex head in there, and you can actually manually lift those jacks up. So, you know, your hydraulic jacks, let's say they're not working, do it manually, lift it up, now you're not stuck. That's a pretty big deal. I really like that they make it easy. They do the same thing with slides. We'll see that a little bit later. Right over here, nice big storage compartment. Take a look in there. You have a light so you can see in there at night. Rotocast compartments, you know, instead of being steel, cool thing about this, it won't rust out on you. And talk about easy to clean. You can see right down here, there's a drain. So all you have to do is you can basically take a power washer in here, power wash it out, and it'll all drain right out the bottom, which is pretty cool. If you take a look up top, you'll also see you have some pass-through storage. This is where I put the ladder inside. But you know, you do have that extra storage for some of those big long items. Maybe you're taking skis, something like that. You have a spot in which you can slide those in. Take a look up top, up above, frameless windows all along the outside. Not only do frameless windows look great, but also they essentially pivot open at the top right here. So because of the way they open, it allows you to keep these open while it's raining. So that way, you know, it doesn't get all, kind of stuffy inside. You can get that airflow coming through. So that's pretty nice as well. Also, the seals on here are tucked behind the glass, so they're not getting beat up nearly as bad by all the UV rays. Right up top is the power awning. Touch a button to roll that out. Same thing to have it go right back in. Super simple and easy to use. And you have an LED light strip underneath there. So if you want light at night, flip a switch and boom, you have it. You have a window above the door, which is pretty cool. Lets in some of that natural light, which I think is nice. Same thing, you have the window on the door itself, you know. Some manufacturers don't do that. They'll just have a plain old door. That way it saves them a little bit of money, but I like having the window there. Grab handle to assist you getting in. And when we open the door up, you see right there a power step. You can turn the power step off if you want, so you can leave it out, or vice versa, you can leave it in. So you know if you're up next to a curb or something, it's not gonna come out and hit the curb. But that obviously makes it easier to get in. One of the things that, you know, again, in a manufacturer, it's pretty cool when they try to give you as much storage as possible. And things like this, you know, I just always enjoy. Look at that, nice little hidden storage area right there in the step. They certainly didn't have to do that, but the fact they did, I think, is pretty cool. Same thing here, they actually have a little side opening to the storage, to this compartment, so you can actually access it from inside, which is pretty neat. So, you know, again, small things, right? If we take a look at the door, Thor has changed the door handles on a lot of their units, and it's definitely a lot beefier now. It's easier to open and close. I know that was a complaint on some of the forums before, so you know they did listen and they have addressed it. So great door system on there. The screen, you'll see that they have a cover, so that way bugs aren't getting in, and you have a handle on both the outside here as well as the inside, so you don't even have to open or close the plastic shroud there. You can just get into it from either way. Another thing I really like that Thor does is all of your external components here, like your refrigerator vents, your furnace vents, notice how they're color matched. Folks, most manufacturers would just leave this black, right? And it's kind of an eyesore when going down the road. Thor does a good job of color matching everything, so it's very seamless and it just looks sharp. You know, you're spending a lot of money here. You want to make sure it's a great looking unit. They recognize that and they do a good job for you. Right down underneath here, we'll open this up. You see that storage compartment there, and as I mentioned, here's that little access door to that storewell, or the stairway there. I left that open a little bit so you can see, you know, how you can access that area, but extra storage there. Right here, this is super cool. Propane quick connect. You like to grill outside, there it is. A lot of manufacturers stuff them underneath the RV, and it's kind of hard to get to. You have to get down on your hands and knees and, you know, plug it in. This makes it super simple. That way you can grill right outside here, you know, watch TV, and just be able to hang out and enjoy yourself. A couple electrical outlets here as well. If you need to plug anything in outside, that will be the place to do it. Fresh water fill is right up here, so if you plan on doing a lot of boondocking where you don't have city water, that is where you'll fill your fresh tanks. And then right over here, you can take a look again. Large storage compartment right back here, same thing. Rotocast, you have the drain, LED lights. Your tanks are actually right here. You have a couple tanks in there too, so you can see that, but they're tucked up high enough here that, you know, it's not gonna really interfere with anything. You still have plenty of storage. Then we drop this back compartment down, and again, you'll see additional storage there. With that top part, you know, you can kind of see that has, you know, that deep storage space, so if you do have some of those larger items, you can fit them in there. Your bumper right back here, you'll see that is painted as well, so you don't have to worry about that rusting out on you. I like the fact they do that. You know, a lot of times you see these Class A is a big old rusty bumper, which you certainly don't want, so that looks nice. Directly underneath that, folks, this hitch is 8,000 pound hitch. Now, I told you this thing was sporty, it had some power. If you're looking to, go in the mountains, or you're looking to tow, a trailer, boat, whatever else behind you, having that 8,000 pound hitch will let you do it. And because this one is so short and has that big V10 in here, it certainly has the power. So I really like the fact they put an 8,000 pound hitch there. Your gas cap right in the back, so if you need to fuel fill, having it in the back is pretty nice. This is a smaller RV, so it is a little bit easier to maneuver in the gas station, but with it in the back, it kind of allows you to fill from either side. Obviously, it's shifted a little more to the off-door side, but either way, the pump will still reach from the door side, which is pretty convenient. Getting up on the roof is simple. You have the rear-mounted ladder here, fully walkable roof as well. As with any RV, I do recommend getting up there a couple times a year for basic maintenance and just inspection, but having the rear-mounted ladder is cool because that way you don't have to bring one with you. There's that rear picture window in the bedroom that I had showed you when we were inside, and up above that is your rear view camera. Put the coach in reverse and that will pop up on your center dash so you can see what's behind you. We come around to the side here, you'll see the two slides, the bedroom and the main living slide. What you'll notice is right up top, these ones have these slide out toppers that come standard. That's a pretty big deal too, folks. If you don't have those, if you have any trees or anything where you're camping, you'll have pine cones and sticks and stuff that can fall on top of your slide. And if you close your slide up without clearing those off, it can get in there and start beating up your seals, and that's where you start getting leaky slides. So by having the toppers on there, it'll make sure that that stuff just sits on top of the topper itself. When the slide goes in, all that stuff falls off. Just makes breaking down camp a lot simpler for you. Coming over here to the off-door side, we'll take a look at some of the components over here. Cummins Onin 4,000 watt generator. This will run everything you need to in the coach, folks. And if you like to, again, go to a lot of places where you're boondocking, you don't have shore power, that generator, again, will give you all the power that you need. We'll open this guy up right up top here. Nice long storage compartment in there. You can see we put our power cord in here, but obviously you can put it in any other compartment you want. And then you have the light in there as well, so you can see at night. Right down here, we open this up. This is one of your terminations. You'll see you have both gray and black right there. LED light in there as well, once again, so if you have to dump your tanks at night, you can see what you're doing. One last thing I do want to mention, you see these covers right here, kind of like these plastic covers? That's because your sensors are actually behind these on your tanks. The cool thing about that is for the maintenance side, if you ever have a bad sensor and you have to replace it, you can take these covers off and the sensors are right here, so it's way simpler to replace, especially if you're pretty handy and you like to do stuff yourself. 30 amp detachable power cord plugs in right there, cable inlet right next to that. Now as we go forward a little bit more here, these ones are underneath your living room slides. You do have to duck down a little bit, but I'll go ahead and open these up for you to take a look. So right here, this is your second termination. You'll see you have just a gray valve there, but if you're at somewhere, if you're at like a seasonal, you might want to get a Y them together. If you're just dumping, at a dump station, they're close enough. You probably won't even have to move the RV to dump them both, which is cool. Outside shower here with both hot and cold water access, and then you also have your black tank flush there, LED light, little bit of storage space there as well. And as we move up a little bit further, open this guy up. You can take a look right here, more storage. One of the things I want to talk about is this box right here. I'd mentioned earlier, Thor wants to make sure you don't get stranded. That controls your slide, folks. You can do a couple things there to actually manually push the slide in. You can unplug a couple of them. You can get a couple people, push the slide in, reconnect it, and that will essentially put the brakes back on so your slide doesn't open up. And there's a button right up here you can hit a couple times, and that will actually hit it 6 times, and that will actually flash a code. So that way if you do have to call to troubleshoot, again, it's pretty simple to do. LED light in there as well, and then your plug rotocast bins. One other thing I do want to mention, take a look at the locks on here. Most manufacturers, right, when they have these style doors with like a toggle, this other one will be a 751 key. If you're not familiar with that, that's a key you often use to get into like your outside shower, things like that. And it can be a bugger, but they use like a standard M key here, which is way easier to use. That way, especially if it's cold, it's a lot easier to open and lock up these compartments. If you know what a 751 key is, you definitely know what I'm talking about. Right out here is your city water connection. You'll see again, take a look at this. It's recessed panel here. You know, the graphics go over, it's blended in. Man, they do a great job. Right down here, open this guy up, and you see propane. So if you have to fill your propane, that is where you do it. And just a little tidbit, just for your information, if you ever, you know, just buy your Class A and you're kind of like, oh man, I forgot where my propane tank is. When you're walking around and looking at your outside compartments, just look at the one without a lock. They can't lock up the propane, so it's pretty simple and easy to find. All right, folks, that wraps it up. Again, this is the 2018 Thor Ace 27.2. If you're interested in this wonderful little Class A and you'd like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description below. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.